All right, good morning everybody. We're back at it this morning. So Barney lost the bushing right here and the articulation cylinder, and that moves back and forth like about that much. So got parts, looking for parts for that. We got calipers. I think we're gonna have machinists make that, which the machinist is Robert, so that's gonna work out pretty good hopefully. Got the 350 warming up. I'm gonna let him come over here and start cutting some more of this topsoil off. Throw it back over this way. That way I can take all that clay, throw it over right there, spread it out, and then push our black dirt back over top of it. But first I'm gonna set the laser up, kind of check everything, make sure I'm still on course for digging the pond the way it needs to be. Let's move some dirt. Use the 350 here. I've already started my cut here. Gonna grab it, bale it back, throw it over here. Robert's cutting out the topsoil in the area where we're gonna fill. Salvage some of that. And we're both just gonna work on moving dirt. I'm gonna dig the pond, throw it up. Once he gets topsoil out of the way, start taking that pile and laying it back, opening up more room for me to be able to work. This pretty much being a hole in the ground equals a lot of dirt quickly, because there's really no pond dam to use any dirt for. I think from start to the end down here it might have tapered like 12 inches. It is just flat down here. Set the laser up there. Everything's looking pretty good. I just got to start digging a little deeper down here. I was about 5.5 feet over there. I'll try to get this area down here at the dam around 8 or so. A lot of groundwater coming in, so I feel good about that. Tell that it's, you know, trying to start pulling all that groundwater out of the surrounding banks. So that's always good for a pond. It's just hard for a lot of people to fathom how much dirt actually comes out of a pond. I mean, this isn't going to be a huge pond by no means. And you see just how much dirt I have piled up just from what I've already dug out. We hauled what we hauled yesterday with the truck, but now the ground's just so pumpy it just won't hold the truck up. It's just not efficient. Yeah, I'm having to move it 2 or 3 times here, but I can move 4 to 5 loads in the amount of time it takes to load one, drive it over there, it gets stuck. You know, messing around with all that. be the dirt baling party of today. See how much dirt we can move. My goal is to get majority of the pond dug and the dirt piled up. That way next week I can work on spreading all this dirt out, getting it bladed off. Alright, so my big pile that I laid over yesterday, I'm going to take the excavator, pull it down. That way I can kind of climb up here on the edge and transfer it over. And I'll let Robert come behind me there and lay it over one more time. That should get it far enough away from the edge of the pond where I can finish digging that bank back and get this side of the pond to the grade that I need it, or the width and grade. It's a lot easier to flatten the pile out from ground level down here than it is from up top. Bunch of dirt. See, now I got a nice platform to sit on and transfer it over. Farther to the edge, that way I'm throwing it as far as I can. Ideally it's best to transfer from right here over, but it's hard to dig into a pile. As you see, when I dig, half the dirt ends up right next to the machine and I can't spin around, so it's a lot easier to just get up on top of the pile and lay it over. Finish getting this pulled over, I'll get up top, start laying the dirt over, and then I'll get him, he's got that far enough now, come behind me and start laying the clay over. So laying this dirt back. All of this is pretty much where it needs to be. I'm laying it over here, kind of giving him a grade to pull off of because I'm filling all that in. And it's pretty much no fill right here, and then as we go over, start raising it up. That way there's drainage to the pond, because I need to maximize all of that surface area for runoff to help keep the pond full. There's a lot over there, but you know, if I can get another couple acres here of runoff, that'll definitely help keep the pond full. So just kind of hogging it out with the excavator, breaking it out, and then we'll come in here with the dozer and blade it down. Probably would have been a good job for the D7, but I didn't know if the ground was going to support the weight of that either. So I had to have both excavators down here anyway, so at the end of the day it just wasn't cost effective to keep bringing equipment down here. So Used the dump truck for what we could, used the excavators for the rest, and then laid it out with the Komatsu dozer. It is some sticky dirt though. You've got to bang the bucket every now and then to get it to knock out. I'm kind of casting it out and over to him, kind of transfer some more dirt in that direction, because I'm going to have plenty down here at the pond dam, or the end of the pond. I said this would be a good job for the D7, but honestly, we're probably moving dirt faster with the excavators. Well, the 220 is pretty much doing what the D7 will be doing, because I couldn't push this with the D7 because I can't get behind it because there's a sheer drop off for the pond. And for what the 220 burns in fuel versus the D7, it's definitely probably more cost effective to run the 220 than the D7. Probably burns 10 gallons an hour. But this thing right here burns probably 10 gallons an hour too, but I'm moving 700 yards an hour too. So I feel like if you look at the amount of dirt you've moved per hour, this one's a lot more efficient. I can't see my grades. Alright, I'm going to keep throwing dirt over here, letting him rake it out, and then once I get all this moved, I'll probably go ahead and cut the side of the pond out, lay that dirt over so he can work on transferring that over here while I finish. I don't know if I'll get all the pond dug, but go down there towards the end and finish cutting all that, because that is a lot of dirt down there. It's got to come out. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. piled up. I'm throwing dirt over here, and he's taking it, throwing it back behind him. So making pretty good progress now. About one more cut away from being right here where I stopped at, and the pond's getting pretty good size now. But as you can see, I have a lot of dirt to get rid of. So I'll be transferring dirt for a while. Cut that bank back about pretty much cut the slope on it, cut it back a little bit farther. But I got to move this dirt first before doing so. But like I said earlier, my goal was to get as much of this dirt out of the pond as possible. I can deal with it when it's piled up here, but the weather is looking nice for next week, so shouldn't have to worry about any rain. Back up and start another cut. It does help out him moving that dirt out of the way. Obviously I can dig faster, but the pile doesn't add up near as bad. Alright, let me rake this a little bit, start another cut. Pond's coming along good. I'm stripping this area out right here. The topsoil off down to the clay. The dam's going to be right there. I'm going to go in there and cut the topsoil out, throw it over, and that way I can use it to fill the ditch in. I'm going to put pipe in there to fill all that in, and then use the clay to fill in the low section to bring that back up to grade. But we've got dirt piled up everywhere. So much dirt. It's hard to believe that much dirt came out of that. I mean, not that big of a pond, but it's adding up. So the pond really does not have a dam, other than I'm putting some dirt in the ditch here at the end. But just to be safe, I went and dug out the topsoil. I just didn't want anything possibly leaching through that layer of topsoil. So I dug all that out, threw it behind me there. Now I'm digging this out a little bit, kind of getting a layer of clay, and just putting it back in here, and just tracking it in, since it's only going to be about 16 inches, 18 inches tall at the most, which really won't even be below water line. Just kind of getting that dumped here and filled in. And that's pretty much kind of making a little bit of a pond dam here. And it's giving me dirt to be able to fill the ditch in with, which I'm going to use that topsoil for that I cut out. So I just pretty much cut it out down to clay, piled that up. So it should work out pretty good. Robert's still baling dirt back with the 220 while I'm working on this. Sticky stuff. Definitely why it doesn't let water go through it. That's definitely why this place stays wet. Get out of the bucket. There we go. So, you bang the bucket a few good times and you'll get like too many excavator bucketfuls worth of dirt come out. There'll still be dirt all in there, but better than it was. Alright, let me track this in and I will finish the other half right here later. So I got the dam cut out there and some clay put in there. Now I'm working on casting some of this dirt back to get some more room. It's just a disaster of dirt thrown everywhere, wherever we could haul it, throw it with the excavator. So I'm kind of working on pulling all this back. Robert's going to jump on the dozer and start pushing that to me. Kind of build a slope in there to everything so it'll drain to the pond. Just kind of see how much more I can dig out as to how much room I have left to fill in. And we're finishing out the day here, breaking this dirt down. So we've swapped up. Robert's on the dozer now, kind of pushing everything up, and I'm taking the 350 and just trying to flip this dirt back into the low areas and rake it out He just kind of keeps everything trimmed out and pushed up here to me, so I don't have to sit here and rake it around. And I can just hog dirt, get it done. This big bucket have moved a lot of dirt. I think he's going to end up planting trees out here or something. So this will be a great spot for it. All this nice loose dirt here now. This was a very wet area to start with, so raising all this up will make it more usable now. That's why the weeds are so tall. You couldn't even get out here with the tractor to keep it mowed down. Thought it was going to take a little bit longer to rake this dirt out. Boy, I looked up. There was just dirt everywhere. I mean, there's still a lot to do, and I still haven't finished digging all the pond out. So, but I wanted to get some of this dirt moved back because it was just kind of overwhelming. There was so much dirt piled up that I didn't know where I was going to put it all. This area right here is taking a good amount, so I'm happy for that. Keep raking this out. We're gonna work about another 30 minutes and take that pin out on the off-road truck, see if we can measure, see if I can't find a bushing or have one made for that. Barney's got a lot of hauling to do and on some future projects. Get that up and going. All right, we made good progress today. Didn't get all the dirt dug out like I wanted to. Still got to cut this corner right here out. That was my corner flag. So still got to take this triangle out. What I'll probably do is move all this topsoil up here and then put that dirt kind of right in there. As you can tell, I've got plenty of dirt right there. It's probably 4 or 5 feet over there, but it really raised that up. I need a cut. I'll end up cutting this down a little bit. I don't want it quite so high. I don't want so much of a bank right here next to the pond. It'll just be harder to keep maintained. But I can come in here and kind of blend that slope back in and push that dirt back and taper this down a little bit. But little pond's shaping up pretty good. A world of dirt come out of that little thing. I ain't saying little, it's gonna be probably close to 3/4 of an acre when I'm done with it. I've already got some good groundwater coming in. I'll come over here with the 220. I'll run around that with the dozer. I'll come over here and kind of pull this slope back a little bit. Get a little better taper on that. Probably run the dozer down here and blend it out. But like I said, finish taking that corner out right there. And that'll be a nice little pond. Take all that dirt, kind of push it right in there. I got to keep an area open so that everything will drain from that section back over here. Coming along. Be back next week.